tough. My program, get your own if you don't like it. I want to welcome my eternal colleague and pal, Howard Martell, who has learned a lot from Anything Goes over the course of months, so we have enough to really shake some of that stuff and learn out and share it out to the world. Good afternoon, Howard. How are you today?
Great, Dr. Lant. Thank you for inviting me to Anything Goes. Looking forward to learning even more and making money at the same time.
Now, here's the thing. Most people take the summer off, either mentally or physically. I don't. I use the summer for what it was designed to be, a planning season for the fall. I want to make it very clear. I plan on making a hell of a lot of money this fall. The stock market's up. The mood of the country is pretty good. Certainly better than it has been in previous summers in recent memory. There's a feeling in the air. All I have to do, I went out to Harvard Square this morning to breakfast. Now, that's an unheard of thing. On a weekday, you never see me leaving my lair at 8 o'clock in the morning, but I had to go to the eye doctor today because I'm of an age now when eyes are the issue. I'm very pleased to report that mine have no signs of deterioration, and they're not going to have to perform cataract surgery anytime soon, which is, hey, I'm happy. Anytime they're not gouging a needle or something in my ears, eyes, nose, and throat, it's a very good day indeed. Now, what I'm doing over here is I'm going through all the closets. I already donated half of my clothes to the Goodwill for the tax deduction, and note the calendar, it's only July. Most of you folks are going to wait until December, then you're going to muff it, and you're going to be late, you're not going to get a tax deduction. Now, I've locked in my tax deduction already. Now, mind you, there's going to be other depositories of Morgan Memorial and Goodwill and Salvation Army, but it's pretty good already for deductions. And I must say, folks, if you have a hankering for Harris tweeds and find, I donated all my previous Harris tweeds to the sports folks to the cause, and all my Arrow shirts. Hey, there'll be some homeless people out there who look absolutely terrific. They take those to the cleaners. And that's another thing. I took all my clothes to the cleaners, absolutely everything, either to the laundromat or right out to the cleaners. For a record, not everything is neat and meticulous. We've been polishing the floors, leaving in the crevices. I can't stand dust. And of course, because I have a new book coming up this fall, there's going to be photographs and need to look good. So I've got all my fall clothes already in the cleaning bag, ready to put them out in the size of the world. In other words, I'm using this time wisely, and I urge you all to do the same. How many of you are ready to organize yourself this summer so that the fall is nothing but a mechanized process for making money? Anybody out there? Or are you just going to dawdle on wondering what to do? Don't wonder. And don't do the closet things yourself. It's too boring for words if you try to do them yourself. I have Mr. Joseph who helps me. He is absolutely terrific. We had to unpack the whole closet today, and we recently back till I could find my pictures, my autograph pictures from Cousin Harold and the Prime Minister Room that I'm using in my book. Laura, what do you think about that? Is this not the very best time of year to plan for a robust and profit-making fall?
Yes, it is the time, and people, they take understanding that if your business slows down, okay, well, you're still going to keep on promoting, but you can still take care of those things that will add up money in your pocket at the end of the year, too, like you do.
Well, my big moneymaker is going to be my book. My memoirs are going to be absolutely unparalleled in terms of their honesty, in terms of their integrity, in terms of their ability to make you laugh and cry. And it's difficult enough in the summer to write a book and run a company than it is in the fall, which would virtually be impossible unless you do a separate thing. Now, I want us to address some of these comments to Marcia White. Marcia, are you there? I have something particular to say to you. Marcia White. Marcia, bite the bullet and get the webcam and the headset and quit with the footing around. You are now just like some insect flying around. Do you want to make money? I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Do you really want to make money? Because I'm a money machine. I like to spend. I like to make it, and I love to spend it. Marcia, your equipment, you told me last night, still doesn't work. Is that true today? You still have equipment that doesn't work? That's so? You better, because I am the one totally sick of it. If you have a problem, everybody gets tech problems. They get equipment. Tech stuff is fragile stuff. It breaks. You sit on it, you crush it, you lose it. You know right now that there are whole industries that have been created out of people who lose their cell phones. There are people who find cell phones and use all the minutes that are in the paper and then throw it away. Yes, friends, out of your own ineptitude can come another business. But here's the bottom line. Marsha, I want you to come in here tomorrow 100% ready for action. No more excuses. No more, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Okay? When you do that, it's not for me. It's not for my sake. It's for your sake. Because every day that goes by that you don't make money now, you don't is a day that you don't have, because in the fall, you're giving away. Now, how many of you have heard the expression, the fall sale season? How many of you know the expression, the fall sale season? Have you heard of it? I know Howard has. Howard, what is the fall sale season and why is it so important?
The biggest season of the year. It's when the kids coming back to school. It's when the holidays are straight to us. You know, we have Labor Day, we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas. There's a bunch of other holidays in between where people are thinking about gifts, buying, acquiring things. Well, if people don't have the ability to acquire things, they're going to put it on a credit card. And guess what? You're going to have to be able to pay that credit card off eventually, right? So why not have a home-based business like I do that allows me to have my own Christmas, especially during the fall selling season?
So how many of you are aware and are beginning your planning process for the fall selling season? I'm going to read you an article now that deals with the fall selling season and Christmas. You're going to say, Christmas? It's only not even the middle of July. Listen, for Christmas freaks, this is prime Christmas season. Now, I want to talk to Manuel Rivera and Michael Rasowich. Folks, Manuel and Michael, this program is dedicated to you because right now you are the most vulnerable. You don't have any equipment. You don't have any tools. You don't have any training. You don't have any prospects. And you're sitting up there. Now, we can solve that problem for you today, or you can drag this out to the fall and waste the prime fall selling season. This article was written by me September the 8th, 2012, and is a classic. One of the over 1,000 articles which you get to use when you become a Worldprofit member. And friends, I'm going to say this, and I mean every word of it. You are not copywriters. You are not professional writers. You don't know how to write. Writing and publishing at 5 years old. When you come in, you're going to get all this, over 2 million formatted words. My newest book, the 19th book, Net Profits, which is my current book, I'm giving out, which sells for $30 at Amazon.com, and I'm well along into my 20th book, which is going to be an incredible premium for people to get away for the rest of my life, probably. It's not beginning to look a lot like Christmas yet, but it is time to start planning. I knew what the response would be when I played the classic It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas yesterday for all the horrified folk in the live business center. It was even better than I'd hoped for. Universal moans, groans, and expostulations that all meant, Dr. Lant, you can't be serious. Nobody thanked me for my concern about making this year's holiday season the smoothest ever, because it would be the best plan ever. I mean, you want to avoid the chaos and confusion that distinguished your efforts last year, right? And you definitely want to avoid the acute last-minute itis that seems to occur every single year, right? Well, I'm here in my role as Santa's little helper to make this dream come true. Are you sure you're not jumping the gun just a little? Unless you're a bona fide Christmas freak, and they do exist, you think of this most important holiday of the year not with happy expectations, but rather with dread and apprehension, remembering what can go wrong because of all the things that have gone wrong in years past. Some of them certifiable doozies, like the time you forgot to get that little something for your much-loved stepmother. That kind of faux pas can never occur if you follow the instructions I'm about to give you. And that will make your attention now worth it. 1. Plan. Don't just think about planning. Planning means just that. Sit down at your computer, open a new file, and brainstorm all the categories you must have and master to ensure the best possible result. If the plan is complete and thorough, and if you master it, you are going to have a superior event, guaranteed. Otherwise, it will be catch as catch can. That can be memorable, of course, but in all the wrong ways. 2. Review what happened last year. Christmas is about traditions, but one tradition you want to exclude is muddling. What really worked last year? What did people like? What did you like? And what left a mess, even bad feelings? The earlier you walk through what happened, why it happened, and where applicable, why it better not happen again, the better. 3. Select a tune that gets you in a Christmas mood, even when you most assuredly are not. I like their bingo version of It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like This, was written by Meredith Wilson in 1951. It worked on even the most hardened bridge. I know, I am one. 4. Brainstorm all the people you want to gratify with a gift. Be expansive. The idea when brainstorming is to jot down possibilities. Evaluation and exclusion are not part of this initial process. Thinking broadly and without limits is. 5. Now prioritize. Who must get something? Think motherland. Because the consequences of not giving are too horrible to consider. And who would it be nice to give something but not necessary? Prioritizing is crucial. Unless you have more money than God, although it's rumored that even his pockets are not so deep as usual after all paid for. Avoid the January hangover. Many overly jolly holiday givers wake up in January owning a bundle that's sure to make all the merry gentlemen dismayed. Planning is crucial here. 6. Budget. First, estimate how much money you want to spend. Then look at last year's bills, scrutinize them closely. Was the amount you spent before easy to pay, or did it leave you broke by a pile of debt? There are 2 keys here. First, determine your budget. Then resolve this year not just to live within that budget, but to cover most, if not all, of your expenses with cash on hand, not credit. What? Thinking that's possibly un-American. You're right. Paying up front for Christmas expenses is un-American, and that's a very good thing. This means determining how much you can afford to spend as determined by how much you can put away prior to December 15th, and saving and spending accordingly. This will save you a lot of grief and lamentation in January. Shop early. Right now, as I'm writing, Christmas is still about 100 days away. No rush to shop, right? That depends on whether you want distinctive gifts or whether any other gift will do. For all that I'm a Grinch of unmatched performance, I make it a point to give gifts of thoughtful consideration only. No mere gift will do. For me, this means starting the catalog with the world's major auction houses, places like Sotheby's, Christie's, Dorothy, etc. I never have any trouble finding things of beauty and rarity, even if sticker comes along with it, especially fine jewelry. Every auction house in the world has special bijou sales before Christmas, with eye-popping bling. You'd be surprised at the bargains available for diamonds, which are always a very best friend. Important note, if you take advantage of this recommendation, remember that things you purchase at such auctions may and very likely will need restoration and professional TLC before being given, not to mention adequate time for packing and shipping. Make generous delivery estimates accordingly. Plan for the little people. My life works because of all the so-called little people who help, assist, organize, and I admit it, coddling me. It takes many such people providing a plethora of such services to make my life work. All must be remembered at Christmas, but how to do it without breaking the bank? With me, Trader Joe's is the answer. Specifically, they're unmatched for the price liquor department. It takes us one trip purchasing just 2 cases of fine wine and sherry to solve the problem. Then all I have to do is write for AMA on my business card and tape it on the bottle. Voila! I have a gift that never fails to be, especially if we didn't expect to be remembered. And thus my status as a good fellow is secured for another year, and so is their good service on which I rely. Check your lights and ornaments well before you need them. One of the season's habitual frustrations is ensuring that you have all the lights and ornaments you need before you have to have them. Finding out what you don't have is a major hassle in December, but a much in September. Thus, review what you've got early, then shop online to order what you need. You can do this any day of the year by searching for the item you want. That's the sensible, inexpensive, cool, calm, and collected way to do it. Whither goest thou? Are you traveling this year? Airfares are up, which means planning is even more necessary. Here's where the online discount travel services come in. The earlier you consult and use them, the better the deals. Just Remember, once you book these specials, there's always a penalty for change or cancellation. Now sit back and enjoy the holidays. I have seen 64 Christmases so far. This year, my 64th. And it has long seemed to me that two people are too harassed and joyful. If you follow the directions in this article carefully and thoroughly, you will savor and enjoy them, perhaps for the first time, and that may be the biggest gift of all. Well, how do we think about this? It is July, and I am reading a Christmas planning article.
It's the truth. If you don't plan, you're going to overspend. You're going to put yourself, for a lot of people, financial crunches just because you want to get a gift that is over your budget. You know, that's why we have, in our families and stuff like that, we just keep it to immediate family.
Well, I like to give diamonds. I believe that diamonds are a girl's best friend, and I believe that some of the best diamond sales are in Vienna, in Switzerland, and also where I have an account. And you could start planning right now. They'll have a diamond sale this summer, and buy your bling and put it away. You get a good deal for it, and you know you're getting a superior. And by the way, I have never had to open a box of diamonds where anyone didn't look and go, wow. I'm very keen on this with the wow factor. Now, I know that 99% of you folks don't plan for the Christmas holiday because you don't even plan for your life on a regular basis. Anybody want to add any commentary about this phenomenon, the lack of planning? But again, I wanted you to know, I'm showing you the God on the street, and you see around here where, like I said, giving away half my clothes are going to the video this afternoon, and we clean them all before. My God, these people are so lucky. Took them to the cleaners before I donate them. Who does that? Who did that? That much time available.
Some good things from Goodwill.
It's a very good thing. I know. I'm giving them some very good things. Some of these jackets cost $1,000. Now, let's see. Ernesto, are you there? Ernesto? And Ronald. Carlisle? Try that. Oh, by the way, to add to the fun, I'm dilated, so I'm seeing you. I'll be more dyslexic than usual today. Now, let's talk about planning your business. One of the things you guys should be doing now is growing your lists. And it absolutely makes me wonder. I don't understand why you do not go out and grow your list. The list, if I have to put this in letters of gold on the pentagon, I will do it. The list is the business is the list. So far this morning, when I've been up here for several hours talking to people, half the people, or at least maybe more, have no list of elements here. Nothing. Now, I don't know where you think you're going to go with that, but your business extends as far as the list and not 1 millimeter forward beyond that. However, what can we do to get these people to do what they say they want? They say they want to make business, but I don't see them out about doing what I do and what you're doing. They talk a good game, but that's it. It's all yeah. We have no sound from you. We have no knowledge. The most important thing you can do this summer is spend every waking minute growing your lists. If you're not doing that, if you're not following George Carter's rigorous and concise and simple directions, you're not going to make it. You will have no business sense.
All right.
Okay, now, Ronald. There's nobody here named Jeff. Now, here's the first thing you're missing, Ronald. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Lant. I don't know who Jeff is. When you come into a business forum and you rename the chief executive officer of the company you want to be participating with, that is goof off number one. Now, rewrite my name so that it is, in fact, my name. Howard, does this bother you? You know, when people come in and rename you, your name is Howard, they call you Stanley. I mean, you know, isn't it just frost you? You know, you're that.
Definitely. If a person earned a certain title, you know, that's what I was taught.
I apologize. Ronald, the first impression you made on me was negative. You know why? Because for 67 friggin' years, my name has been Jeffrey Lant. For the last 40 years, it's been Dr. Jeffrey Lant. And for the next 40 years, it's going to be at least Dr. Jeffrey Lant, and maybe a few more things along the way. Ronald, you've got to know the protocols of business. And I know if there was not another reason for joining us today, I just gave you a primer. So Ronald, I'm going to ask you, do you have $100? You need us, baby. And he says goodbye.
Make money online. Don't like
if you
constructive
want
criticism,
to make
and
money,
that's one thing in business that
you're
you've
ready.
got to learn to deal with.
What's criticism? It's just a sheer fact that you screwed up on. You know, I go to this optometrist down in Kenmore Square, and they still are in the Windus ages. They called me as Mr. Lant this morning, and I went up to the person and I said, my name is Dr. Jeffrey Lant. Change it in my record. They was. Okay, sir. You know, it's something that doctors like to do. They love to strip you while you're tired, and the human dignity is you're just another piece of meat. Sorry, docs, but that is the way it is. Now, Ronald Carlisle, are you going to make money or are you going to pout? I want to know. If you want to pout, that's fine. I just don't want you to pout around me. If you want to make money, I'm your guy. I'm going to give you 1 minute to respond. And Deb Brundage, are you there? Deb, we're going to ask you to watch a video. Yes, it is, Ronald. Now, I'm going to ask you this. You didn't watch the video. I'm going to ask you that you get in there and watch it. Howard, let's put up some directional signals for the people. That's for Ronald. Ronald, there's your instructions on the screen. And put up one for Deb Brundage as well.
Deb? Click on the green watch video button. Follow those instructions, Ronald and Deb. Show you how we're going to help you make money.
I'm going into the fall by reciting some of my own remarks in net practice. I say, and I stand behind this number, that 99% of people on this internet will fail miserably. 1% will make money. You've got to make a decision. Because if you don't make a decision, you're going to automatically end up in the 99%. It takes work and strenuous effort to stay in the 1%. It takes absolutely no work at all to stay in the 99%. And Ronald, may I speak? Will you give me your permission, con su permiso, to speak to you candidly? Because I have something I'm going to say to you, but it's going to sting. But I'm not going to say it unless you give me your permission to listen. Ronald, has anyone ever taken you under his wing? I'm talking about a rich person. And said, Ronald, here are the steps to success. Has anyone mentored you ever in your life? Because I've had mentors since I was a child. Has anyone taken you aside and given you the whole? No. Thus, let me tell you what you're doing. You're starting off by being defensive, telling me you have no money. I haven't asked you for any money. I've asked you for your intelligence and a little bit of time. But of course, you realize that you're going to have to spend something. You're not going to make any money. I'm going to ask you a question. You want to keep your $99.95 in your pocket and fail accordingly. If you want to risk, and you know, life is a risk. Or you want to risk $99.95 on the expectation that you can make a lot more if you follow the direction. What's it going to be for you? Keep your 99 in your pocket and you just disappear, or you risk it, and you get started making money immediately. What's it going to be? Well, leave in your pocket, ensuring your failure, and doing the minor degree of risk that's a tail and getting started today. The same goes for Linnell. Linnell Daniels, are you there? Ronald, if you don't answer, you've answered. Now, Howard, you've been to my house. You know how I live. Do you think I could give some practical good advice to old Ronald there.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think he might be better
Definitely.
off listening a little bit,
Definitely.
but he's not answering. And even if he didn't, I'm giving him one more minute. I'm tossing him out.
Not where he was at. Nowhere.
He has no chance of going anywhere. He doesn't know how to do anything. I don't understand. Oh, baby, I understand better than you'll ever understand. I've been doing this internet stick for over 20 years. I was here when the opening guns went off. My partners and I, George Kyson and I, were here at the very earliest conceptions of the internet. And we know better than how the whole thing. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, Ronald, and this is the last question I'm going to answer. Do you feel you can do everything you need to do all by yourself, or do you feel you need team support? And I mean team support. So you tell me, do you think you can do it all by yourself? In which case, I'm going to kick you out of here so you can get on with it. Or do you think you need help? Well,
Looks like he's fled.
just so you know that.
He'll be back. When he realizes what bonehead mistake he just made.
He'll be back because he has nothing. There's nowhere else to go.
Decided she wanted to do anything. He don't listen. And I think that's crucial towards this.
See, I'm the only person on this team that doesn't care him running out into the field. He has nowhere to go. There's not a place he can go where he's been better off than he is now, except here. Now, Leslie, will you speak to me? No. I want to speak to Eldon and Hamlin.
"72 members looking in at this time. Where anything goes."
You know, I'll tell you a story about Julius Caesar that always appealed to me. Eldon, I'm going to be right with you. Julius Caesar was down in Egypt, and the Roman Empire needed Egypt because Egypt was the prime producer of what they call corn, which is wheat. Egypt fed the empire, so Egypt got rich off of sales of grain in Rome, but they needed to secure it so that the government was pro-Roman, not pro-Egyptian. And so then Cleopatra struck a deal with Julius Caesar that she would be pro-Roman if he kept her on the throne of Egypt, which meant dislodging her half-brother. You know, in Egypt, the brothers and sisters married. What a horrible thought. I told my brothers and sisters, like that, I never allowed you to do it. So it could never be good. In any event, Caesar told the colony, Caesar, who was the boy king, that he was going to let him go free. And the kids started mouthing off Julius Caesar, and so his prime minister told him to shut up. Caesar didn't want to kill a pharaoh. It was bad for business. He really didn't like to kill kings. So, I don't think it was a good idea. It was okay if the soldiers did it. So he exiled his mouthing that kid to the desert, where, of course, his troops were overwhelmed by the Romans. I like that analogy a lot. I like outsmarting the pharaohs. Here are these people saying, I don't need you. I can do it all myself. Good. Do it. Just come back in 6 months and let us know how well it seems so we can give you all the tribute in the world. Eldon, how long have you been with us? And I've got some advice for you.
There's 60 members and guests looking at the Beers Dealers websites here. Eldon,
how long have you been with us? Eldon, I have one question to ask you.
Dr. Lant?
Eldon, how long have you been with us? Eldon, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being as obsessive about making money as I am, That's how it is. One being you're good at it. What level are you? 10 being you're absolutely obsessed with making money on the net. One being you don't care so much. What's your level? You're 9. That's good, but not good enough. We'll do for now. Eldon, if you are a true 9, did you do your promotions over the last several days? Let's take the last week. Did you promote every single day without cease, without stopping? Every single day. Good. Then look at your stats. Tell me how many clicks you got yesterday, and how many associates. We're going to know where you are. We're going to know whether you're really a fanatic or you just think it's right. Now I think Howard knows me well enough to know that I'm a fanatic. I'm obsessive. I'm up here at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm up here on Saturdays. I'm up here on Christmas Day. I'm up here at 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. In other words, God gave me so much time, and Lant uses that time. God gave, Lant uses. You're an obsessive freak like I am. You're up here on the day or night.
Try to be. But I always make sure that every single day, no matter what, unless I'm totally sick, I promote and build my list.
Well, I feel the same way. I write. You know why I write? Would you care eventually why I write these books and things? Oh, so you fit to me. I asked you if you missed a single day, and you said, no, I promoted every day. Do you remember those famous words, Elder? And now you tell me you weren't there after all, which in my lingo means you didn't promote. What did you say? Did he not say that he had promoted every day, Howard? Am I making this up? What did you say then? You said you've been working on it, but here you said yesterday was a 0, as I had to.
Shouldn't have 0. You should have some kind of clicks.
Excuse me. 0 means you didn't do any work. I'm going to make you a wager. You're a wager man, Mr. Eldon. Here's how it goes. If in the next 7 days you come back to this place with having recruited with your own fair hand 25 associates, I'll give you 25.
Pretty good deal there.
I'll bribe you to do what you should have done anyway. You don't have to do anything extra than you would have done. Well, actually, you probably are, because you're not doing anything. You accept my wager? Because and my role as the Julius Caesar of this camp, I vote against. The House votes that we can't do it. Howard, you want to vote?
With the ability of a 0 right now, I'm going to say no, he can't do it. We're challenging you, Eldon.
You have to do the official Roman salute. Thumbs down. You vote. That's it. You have to vote. That's it. The Council of Rome votes down. Well, what do you think about that? Your colleagues think you can't do it. And you're voting against yourself?
There shouldn't be any excuse.
Yourself.
You know you can do it, Eldon. Let me ask you this. We're talking live. How many Safelist have you joined? There's millions of credits out there. I've got 5 pages myself that I use consistently every single week. 18. Have you thought about finding other Safelists to join? It's free. Have you joined our Facebook group? It's free. We're constantly promoting different things that we're doing to build, to make associates. Also, the associate sign-up list that George created for us, that's where people are coming in, so you can check that out too. There's your solution. Not onto Facebook yet. Well, just joining the group will help. You need to write down your goals, 200 clicks, and 1 to 5 associates daily at a minimum. Until you hit that goal, and build your list, you're not going to make money.
Let me
You
get this
have
right
to
here.
build
Are you still going to vote against yourself?
consistently.
Are you still voting against yourself? Because no one so far has voted against himself.
I've never seen that.
I'm asking again. Are you voting against yourself? See, he won't answer. Excuse me, this is the CEO of the company that can help you make money on the net, trying hard to help you out, and you're not even on my wavelength.
You understand, Eldon?
See, he's talking about typing speed, but he's not talking about voting yourself. Nonetheless, I am going to make the bargain, my wager permanent. If you return here 1 week from today at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time, or preferably before, I'll include 25 associates. If you go with their hand, I'll give you 25. You know, if you've been a gladiator in ancient Rome and you've gone to the floor with that, your body would be like the sand dunes real fast. They wouldn't even have let you on against the line. They would have laughed. If you don't believe yourself, nobody's going to believe you.
That's the first thing entrepreneurs have. We have to have the inner belief system that we know that at times we're going to fail, but at most times, if we follow the system, you will prosper. But who am I? I'm just making money, and you're not.
Is conies, and I'm not going to define what it is, but I mean, by God, get some. Go to your store, pick up a pair. Maybe that's not good. I don't know. Eldon, you've got to be more pro Eldon, and you've got to stop being so happy to embrace failure. On days when I don't embrace success, I get irked with myself. I know I'm not up to my highest game. If you don't play your best game, who's going to play your best game for you? Nobody. All right, now we've got still got Leslie Fairchild, who isn't out of the box yet. And we're coming down to the end of Anything Goes. We've had an article on Christmas planning.
It had an article on self-belief.
Well, absolutely. It just kills me. Okay, I am going to follow and do the work, but I can't do every day what I'm still doing today. Yet, excuse me, that is crap. You got 24 hours a day like everybody else. You know what I do? You know, I'm writing a major book right now. This is a major book. This is not an e-book. I don't want anyone ever to call it an e-book, because that pushes it into some sort of like junior category. This is a book. It is flamboyant terms. It is brilliantly written. It is to make you cry. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you think. It'll chop you in the head with things that it's paradoxical, aphoristic, lyric. And it's taking me a whole summer of my life to do this, which when you get to be 67 years old, you know I got too many summers left. Bottom line is this. I told all my friends to call me in September. Don't call me in July, else I'm not. I just hang up the phone. I just hang up the phone now. And clear the decks. Clear the decks and focus on what's important. Howard, do you think a book that I write this year will be read next year, the year after 5 years down the road? Do you believe that? Clear the decks. Howard, I can't hear you. I guess you cleared the deck with your sign. Still no. I don't know what you do up there. Pay your electric bills away. Stop cutting me off. Eldon. Get rid of everything that doesn't make you money or build your business. Those are the two things you gotta do. You gotta make money, you gotta build your business. I don't know how it does it for effective. I wish that he and Virginia Power Company would come in agreement. They'd stop cutting off the sound.
They're cutting
Hard to
off
look after the
my
fantastic.
sound.
You don't have a clue. Apparently so. I'm talking about clearing the decks, getting rid of all the things you don't have to do to focus on the things you do have to do. I'm the only person in the world that can write the book that I'm writing, and so consequently I gave up a lot of things. I sleep, seeing people in a casual way, get rid of them. It's okay to play when playing's on the agenda. When it's on the agenda, you're doing what you need to do. Build your list, build your business, build your course money. Then have a good time when you give yourself a rest. If you give yourself a rest. Your thoughts on that?
I learned a lesson this year about almost being to the top and doing other things. So it happens to us who have been steady.
The prime lesson of all time was, if I had to invent it on a piece of paper, it wouldn't be any better than it turned out. And another thing while I'm on my soapbox, I came up this morning in the middle of the night as I went to write, we usually do, and there was a monitor on duty saying, go ahead, come back whenever you want to. I went absolutely ballistic. I said, you do not. I said, why did you do that? When she told me she had no money. Well, that's tough. Everybody. Have you ever heard a person who comes into this LBC who actually has money? If you believe these people, you think the United States is running on ridiculous. People lie about money. It's the number one thing they lie about. They say they have no money, check jobs from giving up their credit card or whatever. I don't care if the person's on his deathbed in a hospital, bleeding to death. Don't just talk about it, and don't ever let me catch you in the middle of the night or any other time, pushing a person up there and say, you can come back later, poopsie. You can't. You can't go home again. It's Thomas. That was Thomas's last book. Who wrote that book? You can't go home again. American classic. Anyway. Danichi Spruds. Please respond. And we're coming to the end of anything else. Do you want to add anything today? It's just that I hate to see people who are going to need the fall. And the fall skips so fast. From the beginning of September to Christmas is a hop, skip, and jump. It's a business time of the year. We're all going to be busy.
As July is in the, we're almost in the middle of the month up. The fact of it is that this is when you should have been planning in June for the fall selling season, because you knew that there was going to be a slight lull, but that shouldn't stop you from not being able to promote and to build your list. You can't be successful if you don't have.
Let me tell you something about that slight lull. During that slight lull, the stock market hit a record for its entire history. I got my statement this morning, and I'm telling you, kiddos, I'm rich. And it's all because of market appreciation. The stocks that I bought in 2008, all of a sudden, gold tips. So here's the deal. Javier Alaga, you need to say hello to us. You need to come in today. You've been here 10 times. It's enough. Javier, are you there? And we're going to be very honest with people. If they come in here and they're trying to make up, they're trying to be planning an execution in the months of September, October, November, they lost the small selling season until 2015. And you don't want to do that. Because, again, you face a situation where, this is the situation. The stock market, historic high. Likely to go even higher. No reason why it can't go even further.
Especially since
are you
the economic signs are...
Any of this? Yes. Massachusetts is now down to 5% unemployment. It hasn't been this way for years. In other words, we're not truly out of the recession. We're now truly in the growth mode. But are you guys going to grow, or are you just going to say, I went to the beach, zone about September 15th, and wonder what the hell is going on? The other thing that's going on is that the title of Butch Kosh gets to be a premium, 700 premium. My time is going to be absolutely at a premium of the new book to promote. And very likely a new book to start.
backlink.
So,
Those
how would
who
give me your
be
advice?
left in the dust.
Hammer on me. As long as it's gold dust, I don't care. Okay, what I want to do here is bring up our friend Patrice for some extended remarks. Patrice, I want to give you a little extra time today. You could add to the intelligence around here. This is Patrice Porter, our white rabbit, who keeps me in line. I don't want to be kept in line. She's very good at what she does.
Well, it's wonderful to have these anything goes programs. The name says it all. Anything goes, and I love this topic today for preparing and planning and not just talking about anything, but do the actual planning and preparing. So, and the article, it's get you thinking, okay, well, Christmas, it really isn't that long way if you want to really enjoy it and be able to give the gifts that you want to. Plan now. Your selling season, if you want to be positioned in a...
I just want to say one thing and see how you regard this. In 2008, I moved my stock holdings into cash.
Okay.
The expectation that the economy was beginning to falter. As the economy crashed, I bought stock, a lot of stock.
Okay.
Now that stock is highly appreciated and has paid for, and you know that I bought a lot of stuff in my collection this year. It's all covered by appreciated stock. In other words, the funny money that happens when the stocks go up. You didn't have anything else to do but just invest in it. People told me I told people on this program, here's what I'm doing. I never advocated it to be for anybody else. I don't give information. I don't give advice. I give information. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Take it or leave it. People who would have listened to me would now be kicking in $500,000, $1 million bucks of profits by staying at home and minding your business. In other words, you want to use other people's money. You want to use time. You want to use money as a commodity. Money has been cheap for the last several years. That's going to end now, bit by bit. The Federal Reserve wants to get us out of that. In other words, you've got to be thinking about your business development at all times. You've got to be working on it at all times. You've got to be studying it at all times. You've got to sit back and relax and look at your stock statements and whatever as you go and say, yep, I'm a smart cookie.
And that
There is my soapbox for the day.
that period of time, I was looking for what to do with. I had had some extra inheritance and what to do with the money, and they're really, when you're going out and looking, it's actually very hard to find good places actually to put it and everything, and that's what actually got me thinking that to have a business, you invest a bit in the business so that you can keep the money happening. And
You know what I did? I'm going to tell you that. It was kind of funny. I was at the bank one day, and the bank officer said, you're your accountant. You should have a little professional management. You know that. I said, funny you should mention that because it's been getting to be burdensome dealing with all the paperwork. And I mean, she picks up the phone and she dials a couple of numbers. And over the balustrade of the staircase, a guy literally pole vaults into the chair next to me and says, you rang?
no.
And it was the chairman, it was the vice president in charge of the trust department. He had me whisked upstairs within 3 minutes. I have been very happy with the service that I've been getting. And I haven't had to think about my trust fund since the minute that it was set up. They send me regular statements, they invite me over as necessary to explain things that they're doing. And I'm telling you, imagine that you spend your whole time building your business, building your business, take the money and invest it and have professionals do it. And I don't mean somebody's doing it charging 5,000% return. I mean a reputable bank or trust company, a long-standing fiduciary.
Yeah.
People will explain what they're doing.
It's interesting when you do
Everyone
have
in this room is going to have to come to that conclusion.
when you do have money, how they treat you very differently. I was just flabbergasted by that when they, you say they're jumping over the thing to get your service, and they.
Am I telling you some of these stories? They have treated me like I was the golden boy.
Yeah.
One day, a couple of months ago, they said, Dr. Lant, you get more customer service than anyone in the history of the bank. I said, so I smiled my most beatific smile and said, but I deserve it.
Yeah, you know how to smoosh people too, so.
And I'll give you one illustration. When I took my niece Chelsea, who's now 22 years old, I set up a trust fund for her a few years ago. And we took her over to the bank the first time. Every trust officer jumped to attention and waved to her. And I said, Chelsea, I know that this is your first trip to the bank. They love you. You're just a kid. You don't even appreciate it. You didn't even know what that meant. It was a mark of great respect and frankly almost unbelievable.
Yeah. So that's what it is, people. If you
Would you
want
rather be treated like that?
Yeah. So if you want to make some money, come on in and start making the money and have the royal treatment. And if you want to
I'll
check...
tell you one little story before I let you go. And every year on my birthday, the trust officer takes me out to lunch at a very, very good restaurant for
Wow.
years.
That...
He's a very fast eater. When he eats, he kind of looks at me. And he said, Dr. Lant, I've been studying you there. You've been scrutinizing me for a long time. I said, yeah, I noticed. It's kind of freaky. He says, no, I mean in general. He said, I can define you now in this way. He said, you're essentially a simple man who needs copious infusions of cash at irregular intervals. I said, David, that's an aphorism. That's brilliant. That's the truth.
Oh, there you go. And this is the place to be if you want to make money and learn from the master here, for you know how to make it and how to spend it. And if people want to...
So you want to tell the folks anything further about your garden?
Well,
garden?
They can check out my home business central at www.20waystoprofit.com. And also I've created a business helping people to create abundance by gardening, and they can check that out at www.gardeningforfoodsecurity.com. And you can listen to the replays of the Anything Goes programs on the YouTube channel Patrice Porter. And you can catch this one later in the day. I'll have it up, and there's other Anything Goes programs there too. And with that, I'll say my adieus till the next Anything Goes program and our video marketing class tomorrow. Anything Goes at 1 p.m. Eastern and video marketing 2 p.m. So bye.
I want to bring up Howard Martell for some last remarks, and of course thank Patrice as always. She does a fantastic job. In fact, she knows the secret to pushing it. I didn't really want to do a reading today. Guess what? Could you tell? I mean, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, arranging things, writing, and 67 to 67. But I think it turned out pretty well.
It did. Very good program. Bye for now.
Okay, Howard, come up and say your adieus to the folks.
Well, as always, thank you, Dr. Lant, for allowing me to come up here. And without further ado, that was Anything Goes. I can't remember the whole spiel.
In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked upon as something shocking. Now, God knows, anything goes. That's Cole Porter, the best thing about Yale College ever in its history. And I am going to start the official countdown tomorrow of days to the commencement of the fall selling season, and every day I'm going to remind you folks you're falling farther and farther and farther behind, and that's all going to mean catch-up. And we're going to just cruise between here and Christmas, and nothing better. And when I say that the trust officer literally jumped over the balustrade, I mean exactly that. He jumped over there, and there he was, like Aladdin's lamp rang. I couldn't believe it. I have to say that I am one of the happy campers who am very pleased I got the virtual money management. It matters a tremendous amount of. It's one less thing that I don't have to worry about. So that I can focus on what I love, which is, of course, Worldprofit and the collections that I'm writing about in my book. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, as we are every day. And then at 2, for you lucky folks who are in the video marketing course, you need to be there. This is another prime growth field. Good Muffet for life. Thank you, Howard. I'm going down now. And leaving it in